Oh yeah, that's getting there. Good afternoon, everybody. It's me, Mitch. In this video, I'm going to just go through quickly the steps to make a steak sous vide, seared off in carbon steel. How I do it. Now, yesterday, I took this little ribeye right here, salted it, both sides, put it in the refrigerator, and did something called dry brining it. So I don't need to salt it anymore, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sous vide machine here, turn it on, and let it start to warm up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set the temperature to 128 degrees, and we're going to set the time to 2 hours, and we're going to start it. Now, at the same time, I'm going to take a sous vide bag. I'm going to put the steak in the bag. Going over here, turn on my WeVac vacuum sealer. This one's the CV12 model, the big one. Set to automatic. It's set to the medium size bag. Let me make sure. Yes, it is. Going to put it in here. Going to stick the bag under the little clip there. Flatten it out. And just close the lid. And it'll start. And it'll vacuum seal this thing. Now, a chamber style vacuum sealer is going to take about 50 seconds altogether to seal this bag. That's because it's completely evacuating the whole chamber around the bag, and the advantage of that is that it's not going to suck anything out of the bag. It's going to evacuate the bag inside and outside at the same time. Now it's gone into a sealing mode, so that's about 4 seconds, and it counts down and it's done. Then it lets the air back in to the chamber, and it tells me it's done. So what I've got now is I've got a very, very nicely vacuum sealed ribeye steak. I'm going to turn off the WeVac. I'm going to take my sous vide right here. Going to make a little adjustment in the rack. And we're going to put the steak down in the rack and make sure that it's completely underwater. And it appears that it is. And we're going to shut the lid on it. So, that was all it took to get this thing ready and in the sous vide bath. In a couple hours when it's done, I'll come back. We'll sear it off in this Dubai carbon steel pan. Perfect for cooking steaks and home defense. Because this thing, my friend, is heavy. See you then. Well, the sous vide is done. And we're going to just give it a quick sear and we'll have dinner. So I'm going to take my Dubai carbon steel pan. I'm going to put it on high. I'm going to wait off with the range hood because it makes a lot of noise until I absolutely need it. I'm going to unplug the sous vide machine and quiet that down. And we're going to pull the ribeye out that's been in there for 2 hours at 128 degrees. Bring it over here to the sink. Get myself a few paper towels. You don't want to sear meat when it's wet. You want it to be somewhat dry, or else you're just going to make steam out of the moisture and end up steaming your food instead of searing it. We'll get the meat out of the bag here. And we'll dry it off. It's already been salted. Use my little digital thermometer. See how the pan's doing. It's over 200 degrees, so it's coming up. Might be a good time while I'm waiting for the pan to heat up to remind you all that all of the gadgets that I use, everything from the little thermometer to the sous vide to the Dubai pan, everything. I listed all the stuff I use on my website, oldguycarnivore.com. I know you've heard that before. And if you click on those links, it goes to my Amazon account, and they pay me a small commission. Full disclosure, it helps support the channel and buy me new toys like that new mixer I'm going to use tonight for the first time on my live stream. So I appreciate that, and if you want to do what I do, that's where you'll find exactly the stuff that I bought myself and tested out. .400 degrees, it is getting hot enough. Let the butter melt down. When we do a quick sear on this, we want to sear the edges. So we want to sear the edges of the meat as well. Now we give a little sear on the edge, especially where the fat is. Now, I think I'll turn the range hood on, so you pardon the noise. Otherwise, I'll set up every smoke alarm in my house. So we sear the edges where the fat is. And the pan should be getting screaming hot right now, 575 degrees. Oh yes. Okay, this is hot enough to give us a good sear. About a minute aside, minute and a half aside, that's about it. Nothing to it. It's already cooked thoroughly through, but it's a nice medium rare all the way through. You don't ever overcook it in the sous vide. You set the immersion circulator to 128 degrees, that's the hottest the meat will get. Not a degree hotter, and it can't overcook. Now you can, when you're searing, you can flip it over a couple times. But you want a good hot sear, you want to crust it up just a little bit. And it's not long enough to actually overcook the center of the meat, so you don't need to let it rest like you do when the meat comes out of a really hot oven, because you really haven't heated up the center of the meat enough to make sure to keep it cooking. Oh, yes. That's getting there. And it really doesn't make a big mess. These carbon steel pans are a dream. Basically, you just have to wipe them out. And that'll do it. And we'll put that in the plate. We will take and pour the butter from the pan on top of the meat. Quick wipe of the cooktop, and that's it. That is it. So let's come over here and take a look and see what we have here. Let's cut into it. And look at that. Looks beautiful. And give it a little taste. So basically, to make a steak like this, sous vide and seared in butter, perfectly cooked, 5-10 minutes worth of work, and almost no cleanup. Fabulous. Here we go. It's delicious. Perfect. So that's it, just a real quickie. Quick video to show you how to do this. I do this about every other night. My favorite way to cook a steak. So I'm going to go eat my dinner, and you take the rest of the day off and eat meat.